What's up, guys? Coming at you again with another video, and this is going to be a recipe video. It's a little bit long. I tried to add some entertainment, so it's definitely not going to take that long to actually make it. And I think I'm going to call this Kenny's Cooking Show. Unless I think of anything better, that's what it's going to be, Kenny's Cooking Show. So I hope you enjoy this. Hopefully you actually like the recipe and make it. That'd be kind of cool too. And yeah, Kenny's Cooking Show. This meal is actually, it's pretty cool because you can use this for pre and post. In reality, you can pretty much eat, any meal pre and post. There's certain things that you can do to optimize pre and post workout nutrition, but in terms of like the overall day, just remember, you do have to hit your calories. You do have to hit your macros if you're tracking macros versus calories. I don't know what I'm leaning over. I could adjust the angle of this camera to make it less awkward, but I'm not gonna do that because I feel like making this clip awkward for you guys. So I'll check in with you guys when I get the ingredients out and whatever, and I'll show you guys what I'm working with. I'll show you the weights. Again, based on your calories, based on your goals for the day, you may not use as much of one ingredient versus another, or you may swap out ingredients. But it's kind of like the overall recipe that I want to show you guys because it's very customizable. In terms of apparently I'm out of breath talking. Yeah, so. So yeah, see you in the next clip. What's up? So we're back. So basically right now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you how to cut up vegetables for those of you who don't, and just to kind of show you guys the full recipe. So right now what I'm making is, like I said, or I don't know if I said it, but anyways, it's a stir fry. So this, obviously, it's basically rice, a meat source. I would juggle these if I could. A meat source and, like a vegetable. So what I'm doing is I usually do ground beef, rice, and mushrooms. What I actually have right now is prime rib. So prime rib is what I'm going to use. I'm chopping up the mushrooms right now. Generally what I do is I wash the mushrooms. So I wash the mushrooms lightly, and then if you guys can see this, I usually chop off the bottoms. I don't do it all the way. This is a bit of a weird angle. I don't do it all the way. I leave a little bit of the bottom, but apparently the bottom's like a little bit bitter, so I don't really eat it. I'm sure you can. Someone could, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's not that bad, but I just, out of habit, have always kind of, cut off the bottoms. So basically what you're gonna do is be like Salt Bae and just chop your mushrooms. So really simple, guys. I don't do it super small. I don't do it super thick. Mushrooms tend to shrink when you cook them, so you don't want to cut them too thin, but also you don't want to cut them too thick, because then I mean it's really up to you. Just kind of like a normal size, like that. I'm just gonna chop these up. I'm gonna try to get a better angle here for my people. I have a bit of an interesting setup here. You're not gonna really be able to see my face, but I'm gonna zoom in on these shrooms and show you guys my cutting skills. So yeah, right, so the bottom's like that big. So I usually cut off, a good chunk of that. Anyways, skip that. So down to the mushroom. Please watch your fingers, guys. Be careful. For all those who don't know how to cook, I'm trying my best to show you not just the end products and the ingredients, but also the actual... Oh, I thought that was like a bug or something. What in the world? No, we're good. show you how I cook it. I'll show you like when to add in what. But here's basically the other ingredients here. So I pre-weighed the rice. So there's my scale. That's the scale I use. So I pre-weighed everything there. It's kind of just chilling. What is up with my angles? Yes, there we go. Still getting used to this, guys. As you can see, there's my hand. What's up? So there is the magic bullet in the corner, and there's the food. So there's the rice. So I did 300 grams of jasmine rice, and I did roughly 5.5 ounces of prime rib, which is that right there. And it's if you work in grams, that's roughly, I think, like 150 to 160 grams of prime rib. And then basically, just so I can take you guys over here, so basically this was the rice. This is the rice I'm using. So I'm using jasmine rice. I just kind of I prefer jasmine rice as opposed to like basmati and stuff like that. You get more volume, and it has a nice scent, and it just tastes good. So I have a bunch prepped here. So that's kind of what I do. And like I said, normally I use extra lean ground beef, and it really depends on your macros. You could use like lean ground beef or whatever. So I have prime rib because, you know, my mom happened to make a bunch, so it's kind of like meal prep your rice, meal prep your meat source. It could be chicken, you know, chicken breast, chicken thighs, or whatever. And then when you're ready, you just take out whey and then just pop it in, heat it up, and then there's a perfect stir fry. So I'm gonna go over here now and just finish chopping up these mushrooms, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I cook it. So see you when we're back. The commercial's over. So like I said before, guys, the mushrooms, I was finishing cutting those up, so those are actually ready. Let me switch this angle, these sick angles, over to the pan. So I'm using like a fairly big pan because it's quite a bit of food. Obviously, you know that's, I don't know how to show you guys a scale, see how big that is, but that's how big it is. Obviously, if you have a ton of food, a ton of ingredients, you want to add more veggies, use a big enough pan so it's easy to mix, so it's easier to cook, whatever. As far as temperature, you know, it really depends. I usually do kind of like medium high, because I don't mind if, like, say like my rice or stuff like that gets a bit of you know, like a bit of texture, gets a little bit crisp. I would say add the mushrooms first, let them cook, because everything else is cooked. It just needs to be heated up, but the mushrooms need to cook. They don't take very long. It's hard for me to really say a time. I know that water comes out of the mushrooms, so let the water kind of cook out and let them get a little bit soft, then add the rice, because of course the mushrooms will continue to cook. And then what I'm actually going to do is add the prime. But if it was ground beef, I would just add that in right after. But since this is prime rib, I could microwave it, but I'm not gonna like chop it up and add it in. I actually want it in strips, so I'm actually, as you can see, it's kind of like a chunk because it was like a big kind of like roast. So I'm gonna probably cut this into strips, just kind of lay them on the pan, so it gets a little bit of like a crisp on it. And then yeah, like as you can see, guys, like right now, like my hands are kind of cramped. I need some salt. See? A little piece of rice there. Salt is good for you. Salt, when you're somebody that is active, you actually need to put more salt. Why? Because when you sweat, some of that salt leaves your body, so you need to put it back in. You ever get like sweat into your eyes and it burns because of the salt, you know what I mean? So my hands are kind of cramped out, it's kind of weird. But as you can see here, yeah, you can really see it. little bit. If you want to know, that is what the heat's on. So I just turned it down a little bit. It's actually a little bit higher. And then you turn it down. So I'm gonna take the piece of prime rib here, and right. So I said I wanted it in strips, so I'm gonna do it this way because otherwise, if I cut it like lengthwise this way, the fat's here, you're gonna have like one strip of only fat and like no fat with the beef. So strips, so I'm gonna add that in after the rice cooks. So now we wait. It's just a waiting game right now, guys. Just a waiting game. So no rice gets left behind. You didn't think I saw you there, right? No rice gets left behind. So I'm gonna try to multitask here. The camera's shaking like crazy. Not only am I a rookie, but you guys can also tell that I'm a rookie. But we're working on it. We're working on it. We're gonna get a lot better. And yeah. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just one-handing everything. So the rice is getting cooked down a little bit. You can see the mushrooms are very like softening up, right? So you see how they're kind of like a lot smaller now, right? Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but they're a lot smaller. It happens, especially when you cook mushrooms. They'll shrink down a bit. That's why I was saying before, you don't want to chop them too thin. So, I would say this is going pretty well. How about you guys? Yeah. It's the joys of cooking, man. Let me actually put the camera on the food and once again make this less about me, more about this recipe. Even though I know you guys like to see my face, don't lie, I know you do. Stick the pieces of beef on, and then after the pieces of beef are just heated up and just have a nice little texture, like a caramelized kind of texture. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Then I will pull that off, and then that will be the meal. It gets pretty exciting because you don't have to feel hungry. And when you're on a diet, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why I said that, but taking you guys back over this one. So this kind of gives you an idea of how long this takes, and it doesn't take very long at all, guys. There's no excuse to not be able to do this. It makes it a lot easier if you already have the rice ready, obviously, and I did have the rice ready, which is why I recommend, I use a rice cooker. It's so simple. You just press a button and it's done. So this rice is done, right? It's beautiful. It's heated up. So stick that into my plate. I'm off camera. There it is. So Pam's right? Non-stick pan. You're still gonna add some Pam spray. So boom. I'm not gonna track that. I'm proud of that. So here's a little the strips. And really hot. Basically, like, I don't know, like 5 little shakes out of like the, you know, and then I will salt the beef too. And when I made the rice, I did rice in the rice cooker, like I said, and I also did a little bit of salt in the rice, but I didn't do too much, so I added a little bit there. And I would definitely salt the meat, and I suggest salting your meat, especially since it's kind of like a steak, it's time mid. It tastes a lot better with salt. I tend to like salty, I guess, more than the average person, I guess. So again, it's salt to taste. Put that away. Beautiful. I will use you later. And yeah, guys, this is it. So let me just scoop this into the plate. And then this is it. This is ready. Didn't take long at all. Obviously, if I wasn't filming this would be a lot quicker too, because you wouldn't have to explain. But I want you guys to be able to make this, so I took the time to explain.